To the January 2025 Board of Selectmen meeting. First item of interest is the emergency exits. In the event of an emergency, my right, the audience left, up the stairs and out to the rear parking lot. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Introductions. We'll start on that side so PJ can sit down.
Good evening, Mitch Goldblatt.
Bill Kraut.
Good evening, John Carangelo.
Ann Denny, Secretary to the Board.
Good evening, Judy Williams.
PJ Shanley.
Okay, very good. Public participation is for any item that is not an agenda item. We allow 2 minutes per speaker. Is there anybody for public participation? Seeing none. Is there anybody at the table with announcements? Mitchell?
Two things, two announcements. This Saturday, the Orange Chamber of Commerce has a health and fitness expo at the Courtyard by Marriott on Marsh Hill Road from 10 to 1. It is free and open to the public, and I encourage everyone who is available to attend. It should be a lot of fun, a lot of things to learn on health and fitness here in the new year. And the second thing is, very briefly, May 3rd will be the next shredding day and has waste disposal day. So get your calendars ready, May 3rd.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else at the table? Seeing none, I have a few. Unfortunately, we lost 3 longtime dedicated people to the town. Anna Mae Geipel-Piger passed away a couple weeks ago after a long journey with cancer, unfortunately. She did a lot for us. She was extremely dedicated to our Memorial Day activities and veteran activities. Great lady. Our thoughts are with her. Nan Giavine, who celebrated her 100th birthday this summer. Unfortunately, she hit the number and time was up, but Nan was a teacher in our school system here for many, many years and a mainstay around town at other social events and all, and our thoughts are with her. And the last one was William Conway, Bill Conway, who was also a teacher here in the school system. And he was a avid photographer, and there's many photographs still around the town hall that he took and donated. As a matter of fact, I don't know where the big one is, but I said to Ann today when we found out that he passed, there was a great big one of the Academy building when it was the town hall, and it used to be in the second floor landing on the wall there. And I'm not quite sure where it ended up when they were painting, but it jogged my memory on that today. So our thoughts are with all of those families and their members. They're all wonderful people. Monday, January 20th, all town offices will be closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. However, the transfer station will remain open. Reminder, taxes are due January 1st, 2025, and you have until February 3rd to pay and be considered on time. Taxes can be paid in person, by mail, use the drop box in the tax office for check payments only, and you can also do it online at, if you go onto the Town of Orange website, and there's a button, I'll call it, that you can click on there. It will direct you to the right site to pay your taxes online. There is a fee by our third-party provider for doing that. Do not Google the Town of Orange Pay Your Taxes, because that will be the wrong site. That's a former site that was owned by a different third party, and that has never been taken down, and you will not be able to get into our system to pay your taxes on that site. So with that said, those are my announcements for tonight. Minutes. To consider and act on the minutes of the December 11th regular meeting of the Orange Board of Selectmen. With any errors, omissions, or corrections? If so, state page and paragraph. If not, is there a motion to approve?
Jim, I'd like to point out, I believe
Go
there's
ahead.
an error on page 3. If you right at the top where it's, I guess, number 2 from the previous page. Yeah. In the vote on the second vote, actually, where it says, I believe Selectman Shanley voted aye on that vote. I can check with Selectman Shanley on that one.
I voted on the first one.
The first one.
Okay. So you're talking the second vote or the first vote, Mitch?
Okay, so motion.
One says either he voted nay and one says he voted aye.
Yeah, because it was 4-2 and then 5-1 on the second vote.
All right, so he did vote
Okay.
aye. All right.
So, I'm sorry, the first vote was 4-2, second vote was 5-1, right? Correct,
Okay.
correct.
With that correction made, is there a motion?
Motion with that correction, thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous. New business. First item is to consider and act on the five-year capital plan that's before you that Finance Director Cifarelli compiled. This is a required, we always did it anyhow. I mean, I remember doing it with Ed Lieberman and all. But it's required now for a lot of these state grants and LoSIP and LotSIP and a lot of these things. There's a box on those forms now that asks, is this on your five-year capital plan? So that's why it's so important and so timely to have this done at the first month of the year, because OPM will ask that if we do file any paperwork. It's a box that's on there asking, is it on there? So, and if anybody had, and this is remember, this is always a work in progress. You know, it's a moving document. We do get a majority of the things done that are listed. I mean, just on the first page there, if you go down that, a lot of those things have been done. But, you know, sometimes something might be substituted. It might be moved up a year or something like that. We have done the bidding for Brookside. We've done Old Country is completed. Mr. Britton actually dropped off the, just to tie it into this as an FYI, the paperwork for me to look at tomorrow for Pine Tree Drive, Peck Lane, which is LotSIP funded, which is government funded, but I'm looking at these other two.
It came out really nice.
It did. It came out very well. The radio tower at the police department's up, the bucket truck is on order, the server room is, I think it's done now. Is it done? Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of these have been knocked off, and so each year, we try to have a living, breathing document and build off of it.
I think the list is fine. I think it's actually stuff that certainly needs attention, and this committee always did a really good job putting things together under
They did.
Ralph's leadership.
Yes.
Do we have a list of the streets that we're thinking about with the millions?
That's, Mr. Foyer handles that.
Okay.
Mr. Foyer, while you're eating your popcorn, Mr. Shanley is asking for that. If you can email it to Ann, she can forward it out to him.
People get very excited about
The, there's a spring group of work that gets done, and then Tilcon is who usually our vendor is. Then they have a certain time window where they have to stop all other work and they work for the state.
Right.
And then that stops and then they come back. So that's why we usually do some paving very early in the season, and then we do some later in the season.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
that's done by the state bid list, Department of Administrative Services bid list. And Tilcon generally is the vendor on that. I think Mr. Kraut's going to start picking up bird dogging that. I think he has the most familiarity at the table here with those type of work. So with that said, is there a motion to approve Mr. Cifarelli's five-year plan?
So made.
Okay, made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous. The second is to consider and act on request to approve the reappointment of Denise Stein as the municipal agent for the elderly. Denise works in our community service department. She is the elderly agent there and out all over, and it requires a designation where she's registered with the state for that position, and so that's what we do yearly for her.
So moved.
Motion made for Denise Stein. Is there a second on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Congratulations, Denise, you got it for another year. Okay. Item number 3 is to consider and act on the request to approve the tax refunds totaling $10,553.44. Any questions on that? Motion's made, seconds made. No discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous. Committees, Pension Board, Selectman Goldblatt.
There's no report this month.
Okay. When, you're meeting April? Oh,
Next month,
February?
February, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's right, you shifted to every other, yeah,
Actually, we meet four times a year.
yeah. Oh,
Quarterly.
is it? I
Yeah.
thought you upped it.
No, it's always
Okay.
been quarterly, yeah.
All right. Fred Wolf Park Committee, Carangelo and Shanley, anything for this month, or?
We're trying to get a date for the committee to meet with BNL this month. We'll let everyone know the date when we have it
What's
confirmed.
it set? Okay. A point of interest, before I adjourn, we did good. The Zoning Board of Appeals approved the other night a new business on the east end of the Post Road at the corner of Bull Hill Lane and Route 1, called Seven Brews. And it's a strictly drive-through, coffee, ice cream, shakes and drinks, and energy drinks. It's going to be where was Nicoletti's Deli for a long time when I was a kid, and they lived upstairs, and it's been an empty house. It was Subway last. And so they're going to knock that building down, and they're going to build this Seven Brews there. So they got their approval from ZBA Monday night, I think that was. And so now they'll be applying to zoning for that. So that'll be a new spark of business on that end of the Post Road. I think it's kind of good. You have Starbucks on one end, and you'll have Seven Brew on the other. So that's one of the most recent. Anybody who's out and about, you want to see a real pretty building, believe it or not, the self-storage building up at the end of Salemi Lane came out pretty good. They're not 100% completed with it, but it's a very nice addition there on what was a vacant piece of $143 a year piece of taxes land. So that came out very well also. That road will be repaved. I know that's on the spring list to be repaved because the business paid part of the money and the water company paid part of the money. So that one I know is on the list. Other than that, we're just holding things are okay. There's nothing there yet. However, they are doing the remodeling of the building at the wooden tap building. Yeah, they are working on that one. So that's good. That'll probably be a spring. They had 6 months from the time the parking lot was paved or something, and the Heinz paved that parking lot, and so they're going to town on that one. So that's coming along very well also.
And nothing on Christmas tree.
Nothing. No. I mean, we've all seen what we read in the paper. We've talked with the reporters. Stu Leonard has talked with the reporters. We've talked with the property owner management company. No, nothing.
Is the swimming pool thing open?
That's a new swimming pool lesson place there.
Did it open?
Bulldog, I think it is open now. Yeah, that's in there too. So it's good. Things are good in this coldest part of the winter vortex that we're in, I guess. So with that said, go ahead.
Should have said this during announcements. For those that don't know, most of you probably don't, January 26th, 27th is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. And last year, Jim allowed the town hall to be lit up in yellow. There's a lot of structures.
The board allowed.
What Jim did. I hope the board will allow again.
I support it, but.
So I want to thank the board already for allowing it to happen again this year. A lot of buildings throughout the East Coast mostly are lit up in yellow for that entire weekend, and we're going to have town hall with everyone's permission lit up in yellow again. I want to thank in advance Mary Shaw, who's been diligent in improving the yellow lighting this year, and I thank her for her help. And so when you drive by and see the building lit up in yellow that weekend, that's what it's for. So
Yeah, it makes a
people-
lot.
people know.
Mary Shaw found a different way. She turned the building green for St. Patrick's Day last year. She found some, I'll call it cellophane type of material to go over the spotlights outside, and it doesn't burn or melt or anything. And so I asked her about this, and I said, how about, I thought she'd had pieces of plexiglass. She said, no, it's these bag things I think she found on Amazon. And so she and Mitch connected, and she got Mitch some extras, and I think he needs to get that word out to his congregation pretty quickly, because there are people that are going to want to know about that, too. But yeah, so this year it'll be a little bit, I think, better. Last year was good. It was a good first try. We went near crazy trying to get it done, but it got done. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn at 7:17? Motion's made, second, all in favor? Aye. Aye, very good.